But despite 68 points from Luka Doncic and LeBron James, the Lakers, they allowed 135 points in an 18-point loss at home to the Hornets, who, by the way, are 11 games under 500. The Lakers, they've dropped 4 of their last 5 games. But let's keep going beyond all that. But beyond the field goal percentage and all that stuff, because I don't want to start out with doom and gloom here. Why don't we start off with one of the good surprises in the West halfway through, right? Because San Antonio, they're the 2nd seed in the conference. They dropped 6 of their last 10 games, but then they bounced back against the Bucks last night behind Victor Wembanyama. But any time that we are taking stock of the West, the conversation, it has to start with the Thunder. They had an impressive performance of their own, dominating the Rockets on both ends of the floor. The Thunder are on pace to be the first team to rank top 2 in points scored and points allowed since the 63-64 Celtics perk, so a little bit before your Boston Celtics there. But that's where we picked this one up. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander held scoreless in the first quarter for the first time since 2021. That game also came against Houston. But in a second, some highlights we need to get to. He makes the little and one over Amen Thompson. And in the closing seconds of the half here, a sweet series of dribbles into that step back perk.
Oh, Yakum. Look at that bag work. Come here.
By the way, 10-point second for Shai after scoreless in the first year. You knew you couldn't hold him down long. But we need to talk about Chet Holmgren here, Bobby Marks, because he played huge against one of the biggest teams in the league.
I mean, he is a defensive presence for this Oklahoma City team that's, frankly, the best defensive team in the NBA.
18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks. His 4th game with at least 15 and 4 blocks. It's the 4th most in the NBA. But this was a 2-point game, Brian, headed into the 4th quarter. This is where the Thunder's bench took over.
There were 12 lead changes in this game, but the Thunder never let the Rockets get more than a 1-point lead. Did you hear
Jalen Williams. Say it again, just for emphasis.
They never let him get more than a 1-point lead.
There you go. Under 6 to play here. The Thunder up 9. Wallace drives, kicks out to Mitchell.
The ball movement last night was beautiful by the Oklahoma.
How about
City
A.J. Mitchell last night?
Hits the 3 there. Guys, let's take a listen to SGA on Chet Holmgren.
From the moment he stepped foot on the floor with this basketball team, we've been #1 seed in the West. It's no coincidence. His game translates to winning, and his numbers do too. And I bet a lot of money he's an all-star this year.
Well, if the Thunder are to have 2 All-Stars, it would only make sense that it's Chet, because over the last 10 games, he's averaging nearly 18 points. He's shooting over 60% from the floor, not to mention the 10 rebounds per game and almost 3.5 blocks a game in that same stretch. The last Thunder player to do that, Perk.
Who was that, me?
Serge Ibaka, your boy, just about 10 years ago. But Perk, we will go to you, our big man, since you're wearing the. I thought you wore that on Wednesday.
Well, I missed Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wasn't on count.
It's all right.
NBA today.
Friday's the new Wednesday or something. Let's talk about Chet.
What you want to say? He said SGA just said he bet a lot of money that Chet is an all-star. I bet a lot of money that I'm a vote him all-star. The way that he's been balling consistently throughout the course of the season on both ends of the floor. Last night was a prime example. He wore Şengün ass out from the start of the game. And when I'm talking about wearing him out, the luxury of having Chet offensively is because he does a great job of mixing it up. Playing outside, inside, whatever you need him to do in the pick and roll action, he could do it because he's that versatile. Defensively, we know that he could switch 1 through 5. Protecting the basket, protecting the rim, and going against arguably one of the most physical teams in basketball in the Houston Rockets.
One of the things we always talk about in basketball is we talk about playmakers. And when you talk about a playmaker, you were a playmaker.
You got the fingers out, guys. Watch out.
Playmakers. That's what you're laughing at. Usually it means with the ball, right? But the Thunder are a defensive playmaking team. They had 21 steals and blocks last night. 21. That's just hell if you're trying to deal with them. That generates so many extra possessions and so much transition basketball. Their whole game is predicated on getting more possessions than the other team, and they do it with this defensive playmaking, and nobody's a bigger defensive playmaker than Chet Holmgren.
And that spells out a problem for the Houston Rockets, right? Since, Bobby, you're not wearing the Thunder jacket. Are you?
No, I got tan on. I got summer tan on today.
You got summer tan on somewhere, at least. As for Houston, they now fall to 2-5, right, in their last 7 games.
Yeah.
They're shooting below 30% on threes in every game. They're the first team in NBA history to do that in 7 games while taking 20-plus attempts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm looking at the eye test. I'm not looking at the stats here, Bobby. What's concerning you?
How reliant they are on Kevin Durant right now. I think you saw in the last night in the Oklahoma City game, and I think we saw the last time they played, Oklahoma City made an effort to basically take Durant out. He was 0 for 9 from 3 in those 2 games. Who else on this roster is going to step up? 1-4 in their last 5. As you said, shooting percentage, 24% from 3. This was a team that was in the tops in offensive efficiency because they lived in the mid-range. They were not a three-point shooting team. They were last in attempts here. Now it's kind of all coming back to fruition and why this team is struggling.
They had 23 offensive rebounds, which is awesome, amazing. And they scored 91 points. Like, that's frankly hard to do. And that just translates to inefficient offense, which has been plaguing this team for the last few weeks.
Well, I need that Robin to actually be a Robin consistently. And I'm talking about Alfred Şengün. Like, I actually gave him the name Baby Jokic. He didn't like it, but damn it, he showed not playing like it. When you talk about what he's been doing, his production, yes, he's averaging 21 points on the season, but that's not enough. Like, I'm expecting him to be in that 25 points per game to 26 points per game range. I expect him to be rebounding double figures. Like, and when you look at his struggles, to me, I'm looking at him and there's not enough spacing at times. But also, he had a lot of one-on-one opportunities that he's not capitalizing on, and Şengün needs to elevate his game.
Well, again, what we're doing in the start of our show is taking stocks of teams at the official midway point of the season. And we thought that the Rockets were going to be a team that we would be talking about in that upper echelon of the West. And so far, they still have some things to show us. We're going to start with Giannis and the Bucks taking on Wemby and the Jackals last night. Victor Wembanyama, he was showing off a new hairdo, and it's already inspired fans.
You two have already shaved your heads, correct? Shaved our heads this morning as soon as we saw Keldon do it, and Wemby did it, we did it! Yeah.
I'm sorry we didn't support you like that, Bobby Marks.
I need to be a jackal. I want to be a jackal.
The Jackals, they are in it. Giannis Antetokounmpo bullies his way inside, but this was concerning, Brian. He knocks knees with Victor Wembanyama, who is on the ground writhing in pain for some time here.
This is the other knee. He had the bone bruise, what thing in his left knee, hyperextension. This was his right knee.
He would limp to the locker room. He'd miss the rest of the first year.
Oh,
He's back.
But he's back. Back again. Huge block there, Perk. And then coming the other way.
How many times this season have we seen this out of Wemby? A spectacular play defensively and then capitalize with a spectacular play on the offensive end.
I know, Brian, you don't want him shooting too many threes, but he was feeling it, and he was making them.
It's just hard to guard him out there when you know what he can do on the inside. It's
Heat
hard
check.
to chase him.
22 points, 10 rebounds there for Victor Wembanyama.
This one right here is crazy. Like, just to have the confidence to do this. Most bigs catch the ball on the block and drop step for a jump hook. He drop stepped into a damn three-point.
Here's Doc Rivers on Wemby after the game.
Giannis is 7 foot.
The shot separates him from almost everybody with his ability to create shots. It's so funny. Last year, I didn't think he posted enough. This year, he's doing both. He's got the perfect mix. I think Mitch is doing an amazing job. You know, he really is. They're deep. They're young. They're athletic. They're well coached. You know, the sky's the limit for this basketball team, and it's now.
Doc sounds like me. High praise for Victor Wembanyama. At least 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 threes for the 11th time in his career here. We're at the midway point of the season. I'm just curious, everybody. We know this guy is in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. But if we're giving out grades, Perk, Brian, Bobby, are we all? What range are we giving in for the Spurs here?
Well, I'm a hard grader usually.
You're a hard grader. How about you two?
I'm giving him an A.
A?
I'm A+.
A plus?
I think an A for me, just because I thought this team could be a play-in-ish just because there's so much unknown with this group. But what they've been able to do in the number 2 team in the Western Conference, pretty impressive so far.
You know, the one thing about them is their guards. Their guards are very young. They have very inexperienced guards. You know, Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper, you know, second year, first year. De'Aaron Fox, who's the sort of veteran of their guards, he's played 1 playoff series. So I think the question will be, Perk, when we get into the later stages of the season, the games are high pressure. How are these inexperienced guards going to handle it? Because that's where the rubber's going to meet the road. All the game plans are going to be at Victor. They're going to need these guards to carry them. They have carried them so far. But it's been my experience that inexperience shows up at the end of the season.
What you saying?
I'm saying I'm keeping my expectations low.
That was a soft A that you
know
gave.
My grandma used to say, right?
I've heard a lot of things.
Got an old soul, baby. Not that one. She said that too, didn't she?
She said that one too.
Cool booty?
No, not that one. A hard head make a soft behind. And it seemed like you got a hard head because
Check.
because
Check.
if
So does
you're
that
not
mean-
raising the bar, about these San Antonio Spurs, seeing is believing. And damn it, they're legit. And Doc just said they're ready right now. They're ready right now. Yes, they have a guy that won Clutch Player of the Year about 3 years ago in De'Aaron Fox that went toe-to-toe with Steph Curry in a 7-game series. Yes, they do have a champion in Harrison Barnes that was key to Golden State first championship. Victor Wembanyama, that dude is different. He's not your average young guy. His leadership, the way he has reset that culture in San Antonio, hits a lot different. This is their process right now. They're trusting the process. By the time they get to the postseason, damn it, they go hit the ground running.
Some of them ended past some of y'all's bedtime, so we're going to catch you up a little coast to coast around the association. Why don't we start in Detroit? The Pistons held off the Suns for a 108-105 win. Jalen Duren was back after missing 4 straight games, a double-double for him and Cade Cunningham. Perk, they've been talking about their love life recently. What do you love about this team?
I love everything about them. Their physicality. I love how resilient they are. They was down double figures, and they went and got that lead. Jalen Duren, 19 points, 18 rebounds, and Cade Cunningham didn't shoot the ball well. He had 11 dimes.
By the way, whoever is doing the Piston socials, that was tremendous.
You might see them on a double date soon.
All right, Celtics, they come back in Miami. 27 points for Jaylen Brown, 39 off the bench from Anthony Simons. Brian, is Simons the long-term plan here for Boston?
Well, not at the beginning. When they got him, people thought he was going to be a trade piece, but he's been awesome in January. How about last 8 games, averaging 18 points and shooting 52% on three-pointers? That's how you keep yourself in Boston. Shoot like that.
I'm just saying, one of the best stories, one of the best surprises, I know, not to Perk, but to the rest in the Western Conference. All right, we got the Knicks in the Bay last night. No Jalen Brunson. The Warriors got 59 from Steph and Jimmy in the win. Bobby doesn't look like Kuminga. I was looking for him on the bench. It doesn't seem like a distraction.
Distraction? What distraction here? 10-4 in their last 14. They've got 3 more games on this long homestand, but here's a Golden State team that was 2 games under 500. Now we're 4 games over 500.
Brian, do you have your insect repellent?
Yes.
The Lakers didn't. The Hornets, they swung through last night. Come on. Boo! LaMelo always shows up for games in his hometown. All right, the first minute of the first quarter is where we pick this up. The Lakers down. LeBron James gets the ball underneath the basket, kicks it to Jake LaRavia, who dishes it back to James. He's been extending his game and extending his range, Brian. Lakers tie it early. James 29, 9, and 6 in this one, but the rest of this is all Hornets.
It's all LaMelo Ball, who you know loved having a big game in his hometown, knocking down 3 after 3. And how about that lob?
Bridges with the emphatic dunk there. The Hornets up at halftime. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. The Hornets up again. Ball hits a ridiculous crossover to create space before stepping back, draining the triple. Here's what it sounded like on the Hornets broadcast, my favorite.
Has Ayton in the crosshairs to blow by. Oh! Get in there! Look at LaMelo! Great balls of fire!
That was one of the best moves I've seen this NBA season, hands down.
Oh,
Talk
how about
about
this
a bag.
move? Ball from deep.
Off of one leg.
Off of 1 foot there. All right, just over 2 minutes remaining. The Hornets up in this one. Bridges misses the 3. The ball comes back out to Ball. This
was a backbreaker. That pretty much ended the game.
That did it. Ball had 30 points. He balled out. 9 of 17 from 3, 11 assists. Let's take a listen to J.J. Redick on the Lakers' lack of defense.
They saw the same thing everybody else saw, where they made some ridiculous shots. You know, you're going to have certain breakdowns in your defense, and I thought in that third quarter, that could have been really deflating for our team, and it wasn't. Like we kept fighting and played some really good basketball. We changed. We did 3 different coverages tonight, so it's not like we're not trying. We're trying.
They are trying. Despite heavily contesting threes, though, at the 11th highest rate in the NBA, Lakers opponents, they are still making those heavily contested threes at the highest percentage in the NBA. So they're making an effort, but their opponents are still overperforming expectations there. If you're looking at JJ's analytics, the Lakers are 9 games above 500, but they've lost 4 of 5. Brian, you had a pretty harsh critique of them earlier.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if they play the Hornets in a playoff series, I think the Lakers have a hard time beating them. And it's not a commentary on anything other than the Hornets are a young, athletic team. And when the Lakers play a young, athletic team, they struggle. And the Hornets know they come into the game trying to play high tempo. And, yeah, you're going to have games where you're going to have variance on whether your threes drop. But over the course of a series, you're going to have a hard time. And, like, it's very hard for me to take a team seriously that's bottom 5 in defense. In as much as the Lakers got going for them, they're bottom 5 in defense. And, guys, look at the schedule. Like, I know they've been a very good road team this year, and I applaud them for it. But I'm not sure they can keep up if they keep defending like this. They play 9 of the next 10 on the road. So this is just going to be very difficult for them to maintain this spot in the standings if they continue to defend like this.
Did you just have the audacity to call the Lakers a team? That's not a team.
Ouch.
That's a bunch of individuals. I'm willing to bet everything that I have that is not a group chat with the Lakers.
Careful what you.
It's got to be a group chat.
Well, if it is,
may not be that active, but
what it is, ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm willing to bet there's no team dinners on the road. That's a bunch of individuals. That's showing up to work, do your job, everybody go their own way. And that's how they perform on the floor. That's when you have defensive teams that are with defensive individuals that look the way that they look, not on the same page, then they definitely don't have the chemistry off the floor.
I think certainly the beginning of the year, how this roster played without LeBron and where they were. I think 19-7 to start the season, 5-8 since. They haven't had a good win against a team above 500 since December 14th. But I will say this real quick.
Go ahead.
I think the Western Conference standings will keep them in it. Where they are in the top 7, like, I don't see them sliding out and still figure themselves out. They're not Oklahoma City, and they got things to work on here. And as Brian said, the next 9 games on the road is going to dictate a lot of things here. But I am probably not as down on them as probably maybe most people.
Well, and also they don't have Austin Reeves, and I don't know that solves all of their defensive problems that they're having here, but I do want to see a sample size with Austin back, and we're not going to see him probably at least until the end of the month, right?